Governor Cuomo bans almost all government-funded travel to Mississippi.
Suspicious banking exposed in Panama. Now the U.S. free trade policies are being called into question.
And women are being forced to pay more for the same products. We'll have economics professor Don Dukowski in studio to explain why.
Good afternoon and welcome to NCC News at 4 p.m. I'm Ying Chen.
And I'm Jacob Friesen Grant. Let's get right to our top story. Governor Cuomo has banned all non-essential travel to Mississippi. The ban is the result of Mississippi passing a law that discriminates against LGBTQ community. The law allows businesses to refuse service to customers based on their gender identity and sexual orientation. Cuomo stated that he will not lift the ban until the law is repealed.
For the first time in years, the New York State primary will play a key role in both of the primaries. Cruz and Sanders' big wins in Wisconsin are causing frontrunners Trump and Clinton to focus on their home state. If Trump doesn't win decisively from now on, there could be a contested Republican convention. Clinton holds a big lead over Sanders, and she is predicted to win New York.
Speaking of Bernie Sanders, Syracuse for Sanders will be marching through downtown Syracuse this Saturday. March organizers state that Central New York is feeling the burn. They feel that this march is a great way to energize supporters. The march will start at noon on the corner of South Franklin and Walton Street in Armory Square.
After Syracuse women's basketball made history with its trip to the finals, the team fell just short in the national championship. Syracuse women's basketball marked this season after it beat South Carolina and got into Sweet 16. Then the team continued the momentum, voting to Final Four. Coach Helsman said the winning shouldn't come as a surprise because all team members have been top players since high school. Max Block has the full story in a few minutes. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright visited Syracuse University yesterday. She even wore an orange flower pin in support of the women's basketball team. Coming from a refugee family, Albright addressed the issue of globalization, public responsibility, and the current refugee crisis. Albright said refugees have done useful things to the country. She also said the biggest issue of our time is to understand what creates terrorists.
Deputies are looking for a missing teenager who ran away from Syracuse Residential Center last month. 16-year-old Michael Latour was placed at the treatment center by social services. Police believe that he is making an effort to not be located. Latour is 6 feet tall and has tattoos on his arms. If you know any information on his whereabouts, please contact the police.
Syracuse Department of Public Works Commission are working on fixing a large sinkhole in north of Syracuse that put neighbors in danger. The sinkhole is located on South Albert Street. The hole is 3 feet wide and 2 feet deep, and it's still getting bigger. The hole is in the middle of the crosswalk leading to the Franklin Elementary School. Syracuse School District said crossing guards are directing students away from unsafe area. Last night, a Lysander household reported their kids playing with liquid mercury. Firefighters and ambulance responded to the scene immediately and found no one getting injured. The owner of the house, Dan Ewald, said a neighbor's child brought a vial of mercury to his son and they played with it on hands. Ewald found the mercury later. They spilled it. He told the kids to wash hands right away. Mercury is a heavy metal and is often used in thermometer. Exposure to mercury may result in many diseases.
The annual Brave the Shave for St. Baldrick's fundraiser takes place this Sunday. Volunteers help raise money and awareness by shaving their heads. Among the volunteers this year is 8-year-old Brooke Todd, who has a friend battling cancer. So far, Central New Yorkers have raised over $300,000, which will be donated to the cancer research. If you want to brave the shave, go to Kitty Hoyne's Irish Pub and Restaurant this Sunday. NCC News reporter Madison Carter joins us now to tell us about a fresh new way adults are trying to keep things light.
Right, so have you guys heard about jokes about adulting?
I haven't.
Me either. What's
Okay,
that?
so adulting is basically the process of being an adult, having to pay bills, having responsibilities, all the stuff that nobody really wants to do. The joke is that it's really hard to do, but thanks to new research about the growing trend of adult coloring, people now might get to hold on to a little bit of that childhood and take away some of the stress of adulting at the same time.
At 10 o'clock, smack dab in the middle of the week, the North Onondaga Public Library invites adults only to take a break from life and have some fun.
Without your shoes on.
Ellen, Anita, and Sandy have been coming to the library once a week for the past 6 months for some coffee, chatting, and of course, coloring. You would think they've known each other for years.
No, never saw each other before in our lives.
Creating new relationships is an added benefit of the program.
They did not know each other, and it's become quite a social event for them. They're friends now. They talk, they laugh, they go to lunch together.
These ladies have been coloring for years, but the program started because of the rising popularity of coloring books being published today.
Well, I just saw that all the bestseller books at Barnes & Noble or Amazon were all these adult coloring books, and I started to think, well, we could do that.
Nancy's right. To this day, adult coloring books are top sellers, and it's about more than just having fun. Researchers and art therapists have raved over the calming benefits of adult coloring for years.
Doctors are recommending this for their patients that really need to relax.
Coloring as an alternative to meditation has therapeutic potential to reduce anxiety, create focus, and bring about more mindfulness. It's been so popular that the program will be here.
As long as they keep coming.
If you're really serious about getting the most out of your coloring, coloringbooks.net says forget the crayons and go right to the colored pencils to get the precision you need for the best drawing.
Now let's go outside to find out what the weather is doing today. How's it looking out there, Paula?
Well, guys, our calendars say it's spring, but it certainly does not feel that way out here on University Avenue. It actually snowed earlier this morning, and I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but there is a lot of snow on the ground. Now, currently the temperature is around 38 degrees, which is a lot better than the 28 degrees we had earlier this morning. And if we take a look at the almanac, we did hit a high of 82 degrees in 1921 with a low of 14 degrees in 1943. Now, unfortunately, we're nowhere near hitting those 82 degrees, but hopefully we will very soon. Now, I'll have your full weather report at the 4:45 show. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Paula. After the break, take a leaked Panama paper could mean for United States.
Still to come, economics professor Don Dutowski explains why women are paying more for the same products.
And they may not have won, but what does this historic season mean for the future of women's basketball team? Max Block will have the full story in a few minutes. Federal officials said this morning that they are shifting Ebola funds to Zika virus fight because the Congress won't approve Zika funding. The White House said the situation of Zika has grown more critical. Other federal agencies, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and National Institutes of Health, have been working on various fronts.
They started talking about tax havens and such. Then they made the impression that I had been involved in that. It is very important to remember that my wife's company has never been in a tax haven.
Despite that attempt to distance himself from the Panama Papers scandal, the Icelandic Prime Minister is stepping down.
Professor Don Dukowski explains why women are paying more than men for common products.
We'll be right back. NCC News' Paolo Suro tells us what take local stores have on this issue.
That's right, guys. I spoke to students and employees to get their angle on why women pay more for the same product 40% of the time. There is still no law that avoids this from happening. Razors, jeans, shoes, shampoo. These are just some items that women pay more than men for, also referred to as a pink tax. Now, economics professor Don Dukowski joins us in studio this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So actually, yesterday I went to the convenience store and I saw that there were men razor cartridges priced for $14.99 and women cartridges, the same brand, for $18.49. That's almost $3 more. Now, why does this drastic difference exist?
My strong sense is the razor cartridges cost roughly the same amount to make for men and women, so I don't think it's in the cost. I simply think that women demand more razor cartridges than men.
Thanks for watching.